Hey everybody, thanks for joining us on another afternoon of Coast Life. We're your hosts. I'm Paige Marley.
I'm Leah Rizzo, and we're not totally into fall weather yet, it seems. Like we're kind of bouncing back and forth between cool weather, little peaks of summer, and then back into the cool weather, and then little peaks of summer.
Yes, and this weekend is going to be like 79.
Yeah, but that's going to be perfect for sea witch.
Great point.
But we always like to kind of start the show off by talking about things that maybe you're talking about, or maybe we want to give you something to talk about and bring that little knowledge to you with the office tomorrow.
Yeah.
And one thing that we kind of were talking about, and it's interesting because I was listening to a podcast. It was like a dark history podcast is what it's called. And they kind of, the host dives into all the things that maybe you never really thought about, like how value was assigned to these things, or, you know, why whatever product is at the forefront of everybody's mind when it comes to thinking of those types of products. And she did an episode about diamonds.
Okay.
And it was interesting because apparently diamonds, like before the wedding industry really took over, didn't necessarily have a lot of value in terms of like precious gems.
Yeah, no, that's true. And we're seeing a huge change in what men are proposing with rings, because now women are having more fun with it. It's just not your traditional ring anymore. You're doing rubies, you're doing emeralds, you're doing sapphires, you're doing different colors. So I kind of love it. And the one thing that you and I were talking about that's at the front of people's minds, thank goodness, is ethical diamonds. If you are getting a diamond.
Yeah, the lab-grown diamonds. Yes. And so you do have some people that are still in camp like, oh, they're not real diamonds, but they
are real.
Are real diamonds.
They are real.
They're made the same way, just without
safer.
The danger attached to it.
Yeah, I'm not going to act like I know everything about how diamonds are mined.
No, but after you watch Blood Diamond, it's hard to go back.
Thank you, yeah. I was trying to say that exactly. So I like it. I mean, if you are a diamond girl, cool, be a diamond girl. But,
for sure.
Yeah, I think why would you be mad that someone got a lab diamond? It's a little bit cheaper. You know it came from a safe and ethical source. Relax.
Yeah, I also feel like, again, it's always so weird how involved other people, and I mean, I know you have experienced this, how involved other people get in the process of your wedding. From proposal to kiss the bride, people are involved.
Oh, yes, they are, Leah. That's another story for another different episode of Coast Life. But
people will judge, like they'll judge the ring. Oh, what size rock is on your finger? And people like really try to make other people feel bad when maybe they don't like a bigger ring. Yeah. Maybe they like something small, something subtle, something simple.
100%. I was shocked when people started commenting, even before wedding planning started. They would be like, about my ring, is it real? It's not real. No, it is. And that's not like, it's fine. You know, it was very awkward. What do you do when someone says, your ring's not real? Okay.
But yeah, people get
Were you there?
Super invested.
Yeah, I don't like it. So I've seen so many beautiful rings right now, the blue, the sapphires. I'm obsessed. So relax, just get what you want and stop judging people all the time.
I know. Yeah. And that kind of leads us into the next thing that we were going to talk about, like for everybody 30 plus.
Yeah.
What's something that you just sort of discovered maybe about yourself, about the world, about life, and just living it when you turned 30?
Yeah, please. Okay, so I'm going to out you.
Yeah.
30 over here. Yeah, hey. That's what 30 looks like. We're loving it. So
that's right. It's a mess.
No, it's awesome. Is there anything that you learned, though, when you turned 30 that you wish you knew when you were 20, 21?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's basically sort of one big game of Whose Line, where the points are made up and nothing matters, you know, or the rules are made up and the points don't matter. Like, that's how life feels. And so I think, you know, when people do insert themselves into your business, when you're in your 20s, you know, you look to those older people for guidance. And when they don't make sense, it just kind of stresses you out, I think. And you take it more personally than you should, because you're like, these are the people that I've looked up to my whole life. And so when they're butting in or they're making you feel bad about decisions that you've made, when you reach that level of adulthood, you're like, you know what? I'm making, that's my choice.
Yep.
I'm sticking to it.
Yep.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I guess that's another thing that I feel like I've learned a lot is like the worst people can say is no when you ask for things. Like it's just if you don't ask, you'll never know.
I love that.
The worst thing they can say is no.
I've heard that before, where like if you don't ask, the answer is always no. I love that. I've been trying to live like that recently, because you and I were talking earlier, because I turned 27 next month, and I'm like, so many people are always like, oh, the closer you get to 30, ooh, scary. And I'm like, am I supposed to feel that way?
It's not scary. I was excited to turn 30, honestly, because I feel like my 20s, like, and I think a lot of people do feel this way, especially maybe millennials tend to feel this way because, you know, so much of your 20s of what you see on TV is living independently and this excitement, and you get to hang out with your friends all the time, and it's this overly social life. But for a lot of us, our 20s weren't necessarily like that because you couldn't afford to live on your own. You couldn't afford to pave your way like that, the way that maybe, you know, when you watched Friends, it was like that, or when you watched New Girl, it was like that. Like it wasn't the life that you see on TV. And for most of us, like that's how you fantasize your 20s because that's what you see.
I think a lot of shows, maybe 90s, early 2000s, they would have the girl and she wasn't married and she's like, I'm turning 30, oh no. And I think we're past that now. I mean, like you said, who can afford anything in their 20s? 20s are for having fun, starting your career maybe, learning, and then more people are having families in their 30s. Go traveling in their 30s.
And I think with that, like the modern coming of age, I think happens a couple of different times now. And I think, you know, obviously your teenager coming of age story. And then you sort of have that maybe like 25 where you kind of feel like, all right, maybe I've found the career for me. I've found maybe some sort of life direction, but you know, your finances haven't caught up or whatever it is, it hasn't quite fallen into place. So I feel like your 20s are sort of like the trial run of adulthood. And then by 30, you're like, okay, I'm ready.
Let's start this thing.
Let's get it started. Yep, I'm ready.
Exactly. I agree with you. I was telling you too earlier, like I think back to, I guess I'll be 30 in 3 years? Even just 3 years ago, I've learned so much, you know, in the past 3 years of being here. So you're always growing, you're always learning.
Yep,
And we
basically.
love it.
And the one thing that I definitely tend to find true is like as soon as you think you know everything, that's when you're done. When you close your mind off to learning, that's when it's over. Like it is over for you. You are no longer an open-minded individual. When you think you know it all, you don't know any of it.
That is right. I can get behind that.
Because the world is always changing.
It is, always. And you're always changing, and that's great. So if you are almost 30, you're going to do great. Don't you just want to be like Leo when you turn 30?
Well, I don't know about all that.
I do.
But Halloween is coming up, sort of changing our topic of conversation here. And there's a neighborhood in Utah that's really gone all out on this, and I love this because, you know, we love when the community comes together to do stuff, and that's exactly what this neighborhood has done. They've turned the entire place into Barbie land.
That is adorable.
So they've got Ken's Mojo Dojo Casa House, they've got the Barbie Dream House, and people are traveling to see it. People are, they said that they've even had the police like close down certain streets. So they recommend that people, you know, bike or walk to go check it out.
How fun is that? I don't know how it would feel if everyone was traveling to my neighborhood to look at my house, but I guess if you're doing that, you know in advance it's going to happen. If you had any of the houses in Barbie world, what do you think you'd live in?
Ooh, I mean, I never had the dream house, so I feel like the dream house would be kind of cool.
Yeah, me too.
I think I mean, you know, the hot tub.
The pool, the slide.
The pool, the slide.
Yeah.
Every part of the dream house, I think, would be.
I'm not a Mojo Dojo Casa House girly.
I don't think I'm as much of the Mojo Dojo Casa House, although the saloon doors.
Those were cool. We'll hand it to Ken. But I love that. How amazing. And Barbie, of course, is expected to be the #1 Halloween costume this year.
Yep.
So that would be a fun photo op place if you take a quick trip to Utah in your Barbie cowgirl fit and take a photo.
Exactly. I know what are you going to be for Halloween? Any thoughts?
I have ideas.
Yeah, you got some ideas?
I have ideas. We'll see.
All right.
It might be a surprise.
All right.
But we did get some great recommendations from our viewers.
Yes, we have.
Of what we should be. So I'm going to leave you guys on just, you'll see.
Suspense.
Yeah, I hope it's good.
But we won't leave you in too much suspense with what's coming up on the show today. It is Tuesday. That means we've got another Get Home Safely tip for you.
And the Parker Group has a really great event coming up. If you are even just a little bit interested in getting started in real estate, they're going to help you jumpstart your career.
And when it comes to giving your kid the best advantage, especially when it's time to start kindergarten, you want to check out Shell's Early Learning. All that and more is coming your way with more Coast Life when we get back.
Coast Life is brought to you by BB Healthcare, Coastal Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning, Preston Automotive Group, Shell Brothers, and the Parker Group.
All right, parents, Halloween is coming up, and we know that you want to keep the kiddos safe while they're trick-or-treating. That's why Angela Malibet with Shell's Early Learning Center is joining me on the Coast Life couch today. Angela, how are you?
I'm well. I am well.
Good.
Excited for this Halloween season.
Yes, we're excited too. So you guys have trunk or treats become very popular over these recent years.
Yes,
and you guys have some trunk or treats coming up, right?
Yeah, we have one every day this week. Just about, it feels like. But yes, I would say we enjoy doing the trunk or treats for the families. We know sometimes, especially since the pandemic, a lot of families don't go out into the community, especially with the younger ones.
Yeah.
So for Shells, it was just our way of doing it in-house. They know the families, they know the staff, and things like that. And I don't know if the kids have more fun with it or if it's the staff, because some of them have been telling me they're doing Powerpuff Girls as a group. They're doing the Shrek theme. So I'm like, they go all out. I was like, I'm gonna be a fairy. I'll walk around with my little wand and stuff, but they're, the trunk or treats we've been doing the last few years, and they're actually a lot of fun. We do enjoy doing it, and the kids, they get a ball. They get to show their parents their classrooms, and they get to show their school off too. Yeah. So they have fun and get to show their friends their costumes, and I'm ready for the Supermans and Batmans and and all that fun stuff.
Yes. Do you have a trick for maybe when there's parents answering the door or at trunk or treats and they don't recognize the kid's costume and you're just like, you look great.
Stick with that. Don't say nothing else more than that. You look awesome. Let them feed into what they are and be like, I thought that was you, Spider-Man, or whatever they may be. Just play along with the kids because they know no better. And I say now the older ones, you might have to be on your P's and Q's with, but those younger ones, they'll just be happy. Just hype them up. Be like, you look great, you look awesome, you look amazing, and they just start jumping for joy. And they know no better. They're excited about that because there's some things, especially in the childcare industry, that I'd be like, what character? I don't know that. I was like, that's just so cute. You just put that smile on, tell them they're amazing, and they're happy about it.
Perfect. So for people who do want to get involved in the trunk or treats that you guys have going on, where can they find you? Where can they find information?
They can either call us at our centers. We have 4 locations: Milton, Harrington, Dover, and Camden. Or you can just, honestly, we open it up to the communities too. So you're always more than welcome to come to our trunk or treats. We don't limit it to just only our families. We like to invite everybody because, like I said, we understand that sometimes smaller events are more comfortable for the families, and we're okay with that. So even if you're not enrolled at Shells, you're more than you can just pull up your trunk and pop it open with your little trunk or treat. We might ask like, who are you? But once you're like, I'm just from the community. Okay, awesome. Let's have fun. Let's let the kids get some candy and let's just enjoy our times. But they can reach out to the centers personally. They can find us on our website at www.shellschildcare.com, or they can simply just, pull up and hey, when's you guys trunk or treat? I'd like to participate. We're a very community-based organization, so we're always open to the community coming out and helping and supporting in any way.
Yeah, well, maybe for some people who are on the fence about trunk or treat, what are some of the advantages maybe to trunk or treating as opposed to traditional trick or treating on Halloween night, or maybe in addition to traditional trick or treating on Halloween?
With trunk or treat, it's a little, like I said, it's a little bit more, it's smaller, depending on which ones you go to, because I know some of the schools, theirs are extravagant and things like that, but with the trunk or treats, they're a little bit more smaller, they're a little bit more intimate, whereas you don't have as many kids just kind of going around. And on top of that, I don't ever see them running out of candy as fast at trunk or treats as they do at the houses.
Okay.
So if you want to get the good candy, you do tend to get it more at the trunk or treats because parents, the parents that are doing it or the staff that are doing it, they're bringing bags on bags. And then we don't expect this big, we don't expect a huge crowd coming out. So it's a little bit more smaller and a little bit more intimate. So they're able to do that. But then on top of that, it's like the kids feel a little bit more comfortable. Yeah. It's a little nerve-wracking walking up to some of those haunted houses or some of the decorated houses. I remember there was one in Milton that they always went above and beyond on the decorations, and it was so scary. We knew the family, but every time we just stand there and look at the house like, so who's going to walk through it to get the candy because I don't want to.
Well, I know we're all very excited for trunk or treats that you have coming up, but there's also some new stuff going on with Shells. You guys have some podcasts, right?
Yes. We are about to start up our podcast, and we're so excited about it. It's something we've actually been working for a while on getting up and going. Yeah. We want to give a platform not only to childcare providers, but also to families, teachers, owners, anybody that falls into that field of childcare. We want to give them a platform where we can talk about little things that, doesn't always get spoken about because there's always like, oh, I don't want to say it because I don't, maybe I'm the only one that feels that way. Or you get thrown up on and it's like, I don't ever want to talk. Look, we get it. I've been pooped on, I've been peed on, I've been thrown up on, I've gotten everything in the
down
whole
and
9
dirty.
yards. Exactly. We want to give them everything, but then we also want to be able to have a safe haven for people that, have gone through different experience, whether it's children or in the field, that they can, have people they can relate to, can talk to about it, or just ask questions like, well, how did you get through it? Did you think you were going to do it? Did you think you were going to do this? And just, be able to hear the laughs, but also hear the truths, the sads, and everything in between when it comes to children.
The good, the bad, and the ugly, as they say.
Yes.
Well, Angela, thank you so much for coming in. Don't forget those trunk or treats happening all this week, and great resources for your kids, and again, your parents and your child care providers alike coming your way with Shell's early learning. So, Angela, thanks again.
Thank you.
Don't go anywhere, though, because we do have some more Coast Life headed your way.
It's not uncommon right now, really ever since the pandemic, for people to be thinking, do you really want to do this the rest of your life? When you're thinking of careers and your dreams and your goals. So to give you maybe just an idea of what you want to do next, we have Rachel and Dustin back with us with the Parker Group. Welcome back.
Hi,
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Of course. So if you are interested in real estate, of course, who else are you going to talk to besides these two? These are the experts. You really want to talk to them. And you guys have a great event coming up that's going to help with anyone interested in real estate. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we view ourselves as kind of like a low pressure company in general, and so we didn't want people to feel like if they were maybe kind of dipping their toes in the water that they had to come to some kind of high pressure like recruiting thing. And so we thought we wanted people to have a chance to kind of check out what our culture is like. And so on Thursday, November 2nd, at our office in Georgetown, which is right on North Bedford Street, we're hosting what we're calling Snip, Snap, and support the Delaware Food Bank. It's such an alliteration, it's always a tongue twister for me. But essentially we're gonna have like a little outdoor concert, we're gonna have Taco Rijo there. If people bring a donation for the food bank, they can get a drink ticket and just hang out, see our office, and extra bonus is just get a free headshot while you're there, hence the snap.
That is incredible. That sounds like so different than sort of, no offense to anyone else, like those like stuffy kind of recruiting events, that a lot of people get. So why is it so important for you guys to make this that relaxed, fun, welcoming atmosphere?
Yeah, I think we just kind of want to really demonstrate our culture, and that truly is our culture. It's an open space in terms of our office. We set it up kind of like a coffee shop with lots of open work areas, and I think what you'll see at that event is a lot of our agents and staff just being who they are as people. And we think it's much better to have conversations and get to know each other in a more socially relaxed environment than a one-on-one in front of somebody in front of a table or whatever it might be. Right.
Yeah. What kind of experience should people be coming with? Can they already be in real estate? Maybe they just want to learn more about you?
Yep, perfect question. So if it's someone that has never done real estate before and they're just interested in maybe getting started, seeing if the field is for them, it's open to them. Or if someone's already in real estate and just wants to come get to know our company a little bit better, that's also open to them as well.
That's incredible. And I remember a couple weeks ago we talked about what you guys offer for new real estate agents. Could you just kind of reiterate that if people are curious, what you do for new people just starting?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we have a really comprehensive training program, and it's so important, especially if you're a brand new agent. Like we had mentioned previously, the real estate course kind of teaches you how not to get in trouble, which is really important.
Yeah.
And our code of ethics and things like that, but it doesn't teach you how to sell houses. And that's where we feel like we do a really good job. We have a tremendous record of taking someone who's brand new in the industry and turning them into a top producer really quickly. And so I think, depending on what you're looking for, we have a package probably that aligns with that particular agent. But it's just a great group of people to be around and really supportive.
Absolutely. Yeah, you do seem really inspiring, really welcoming. I think it's so nerve-wracking when you're starting anything new.
Yes.
Yeah, so you guys seem very, very comfortable. And, Aaliyah was in your offices earlier, too, a couple weeks ago, and the way that she described it was just homey and friendly.
Oh,
so you guys do a great job of that.
Thanks so much. Yeah, and if someone just wants to chat with our agents and just kind of get a feel for what real estate is really like, that's kind of the goal, is like we're arms wide open.
Incredible. So I'm sure you convinced a lot of people, so just give us one more time the where and the when, and do they have to sign up in advance?
You do not have to sign up in advance. You can just show up at the door. It's from 4 to 7 p.m. on Thursday, November 2nd. It's at our Georgetown office location, which is right at 113 in North Bedford Street, downtown Georgetown. And it's just open house style, so people can pop in whenever they have time between 4 and 7. Figured kind of happy hour time frame, and love to see you there.
Perfect. There's no reason not to go. If you're curious, just stop by. It can't hurt, right?
Right, absolutely.
Incredible. Rachel, Dustin, thanks so much for coming back. Looking forward to talking to you again soon. For right now, though, we're going to let you go, but just for a minute, because we'll be back in a couple seconds.
This segment of Coast Life was brought to you by the Parker Group.
All right, Coast Life Life. Today is Tuesday. That means we want to get you home safely in an unpredictable world. You always want to be aware of your surroundings. That's always the first thing that Ted and Chris will tell you from Seaside Krav Maga in Lewis. But we have been diving in with some more specific tips to keep you safe, like the one we're going to show you this week.
Hi, I'm Chris Anderhagen.
And I'm Ted Dabbs, and we're from Seaside Krav Maga in Lewis, Delaware. More tips on how to get home safely.
Today we're looking at being grabbed and lifted. If you're a female, you may be lifted to be taken somewhere, a secondary crime scene, for horrible things to happen. As a male, you'll see in the beginning, the object is to smash me on my head and put me out of commission. What we do is we show you how to deal with it with your hands trapped at your side, or if your hands are free.
Yeah, that can be a scary situation for a woman to be in, and you know, it kind of ties into some of our principles we've already talked about in past videos, where you want to fight with intent, you want to fight with intensity, and fight for your life, basically.
And be aware, so maybe you don't even have to be there.
That's right.
This is how you would deal with the same threat when your hands are free.
Don't forget, they've got classes for all ages, from the little guys all the way up through the big guys. So if you are interested in taking a self-defense course, make sure you check out Seaside Krav Maga in Lewis. Follow them on social media as well to keep updated with things like classes and events that they do as well. But we've got some more Coast Life headed your way, so don't go anywhere.
This segment of Coast Life was brought to you by Seaside Krav Maga.
Surprise! Check it out!
Yes, we are so obsessed with the new decor on our set.
Amazing. Aaliyah, who did this all for us?
Our friends at Lord's Mercantile in Millville. We've talked to them a number of times. I mean, they're always just super fun to chat with.
So fun.
They're so good at what they do, and they're so good at helping you find what's really going to make your house truly a home.
Yes, definitely. Because doesn't this just feel homey?
Yes.
It really, I know this sounds maybe dramatic, but it's true. I almost just feel more comfortable up here with the changes. I feel at home.
Like curl up and
just
take a little nap.
It feels fresh and fun. And you guys, I mean, how incredible is this to mix the coastal with the fall? They crushed it.
Genius, because I really was struggling with putting that together in my head. It wasn't piecing together.
No. If you asked me to decorate Coast Life for fall, it would be like a string of pumpkins and maybe some like plastic candy corn, and I would have been like, ta-da.
Well, we will see what some of our DIY Halloween projects are going to look like. That's a little crumb for you for next week. But
That's true.
Why don't we take a look back at kind of putting all of this together?
Yeah, the magic. Yeah, check it out. And Leo, isn't it impressive how quickly they did it?
I know.
Oh my God, they came in with a vision. we stepped back and
they were prepared.
Yes.
They had pictures. They were like, no, this goes here. See, according to that goes there.
Yep.
And they set up. I mean, and they're always so fun.
Yes.
We play music. We dance around. It's always a good time.
blast. Yep, definitely. And I know you guys might have questions, so guess what? Drum roll. They're here today. They're going to come in just a minute, talk to us about the idea behind this and how you can get your home to be perfect for fall. That's coming up right now, so just stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Love fall here on Coast Life, and part of what makes fall so fun is all of the great decorations that you get to see.
Yes.
We were just kind of seeing our friends at Lord's Mercantile put the set together, but now we're going to kind of dive into what they brought and what they have in the store. So we've got our friends joining us on the Coast Life couch today. Hello. Welcome, ladies.
Hello.
Hi. So tell us a little bit about some of the pieces that you brought into the studio to make it look as amazing as it does, because you guys did a wonderful job. We were so excited about this.
We are obsessed.
Oh, thank you so much. We really appreciate your letting us be here and do this for you.
Yeah.
So I think when you invited us to do this, we really were putting our heads together about what we wanted to do. And obviously it's fall, but we live at the beach. So the thought was, well, how can we, show people that you can still bring the beach and have fall, decor.
Yeah.
So that's why we added the blues. As you see, we added some of the blues in, and we think it looks beautiful with the oranges and the golds and the greens.
It really does.
So
I know the last time that I was at the shop, you guys had mentioned about kind of mixing these textures, and I know this blue pumpkin, we were obsessed with it, that like velvety feel to it.
Yes, it's fun. It just makes it fun.
Yeah.
That was one thing I was not worried about, because I knew you guys would pull through, but I'm like, how are they going to, with our blue couch, our corally sign, all of that, how are you going to make it still look like fall? And when you brought that blue pumpkin in, I died. I'm like, duh, blue pumpkins. It just makes sense.
Yeah. And then we added some of the florals, which I think really bring the whole season to life, because that can go through Thanksgiving and all of that. We've got pumpkins, we've got turkeys, we've got,
Yeah.
So all of the stuff that you guys have decorated our set with, they are available for purchase.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
Yes, they are. Everything here that you see is available for purchase. And just to go back to the couch, when Chris and I were talking, I said, they have this beautiful sort of seafoamy blue couch. And I think that blues, and I'll be honest, I thought it was green. It was more green. It looks a little more green on
Pretty.
But greens and blues are so beautiful together. So we really wanted to do something that was fall, but that was also very calming and elegant.
Yeah,
Very
you guys
elegant.
nailed it.
There's a green jellyfish behind one of
Yes,
you.
there is.
So smart. Yes.
Isn't that cool?
Love
And it's
that.
beautiful. It's got little sparkles behind it.
pretty.
Yeah,
And that's, everything here, they're also such unique finds that people who, if you, seriously, you're going to find something that you are obsessed with at Lord's Mercantile in Millville. Every time I go, I'm not kidding you, I have to leave my purse in the car, because otherwise it's game over for me. I know you're all about your shift gifts, Chris.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I say bring your wallet in. I see nothing wrong with that.
I know.
And if people,
queen.
yeah, I love that. If people see more than one thing though, and they think, I want my apartment or my house to look like this, but I don't know where to start, can they come in and you guys will help them walk them through it?
Absolutely, sure.
Absolutely.
And that happens all the time where people will come in and say, well, I've got a dining room table and I'm not exactly sure what to do. This is what I have. What would you add to it? And it's always helpful when they bring a picture for us, and then we can help them to design something to go on that. But yeah, we are not technically or not trained to do that, but we all, I think, have a little bit of a sense of style and decor and how to pull things together that we have at the store and make it look just gorgeous. And then we always love it when our customers come back and they bring us a picture. With dream realized.
Yeah. And I mean, you said you were kind of pulling together these calming, cozy, both fall and coastal vibes, but I think you also get those calm, cozy vibes when you walk into the store in Millville. I mean, you guys are so fantastic. I mean, it just,
thank you.
I think I said it before, you go in strangers and you leave friends, and it's just it's so, like, it's a party.
It Well, we've danced there.
Yes, no, you couldn't have said that better because I'm already like, so you guys want to hang out this weekend?
Yeah, let's go.
We seriously had so much fun watching you guys put this together. We weren't much help, but we had so much fun with you all. So
Thank you.
And we are
you.
so appreciative of the opportunity.
We had a lot of fun putting it together
It was.
and deciding what to bring and some of the things that we really wanted to bring that we couldn't. And,
next fall.
Well, and I'm sure we'll be seeing you guys again around holiday season because I know there's tons of holiday decor at Lord's
so
Mercantile.
much holiday
We'd love
decor.
to. We'd love it.
So.
We would love it.
Yes.
Can't wait to see when your homes look like this. Make sure if you go to Lord's and you get all this fall decor, you send us pictures. Let us see what you decided to do.
Yes, but well, thank you guys once again for
Thank
coming
you,
in,
guys.
doing
Very
this for us.
welcome.
I mean, we are going to enjoy this set until we change things over with the seasons again. And so again,
Good.
I'm sure we'll be seeing you. But
Hope so.
if you need to decorate your house, or even if you want to get a jump start on your holiday shopping, I know you're going to find great gifts because they've got more than just decor at Lord's Mercantile in Millville. So don't miss your chance to go check it out. And if you see it there, buy it because it won't be back.
Great point.
Speaking from experience.
Great point.
Don't go anywhere though, because there is a little bit more Coast Life to get to when we get back. You're watching Coast Life, and I know if you've spent any amount of time in and around Ocean City, you know Secrets. It's one of the most iconic spots in Ocean City, and they're always up to something new, which is why we are here in Area 51. I'm here with Leighton Moore. Tell me a little bit about, how we got from tiny little liquor store to Area 51.
Well, the little liquor store was built about 22 years ago, and it was originally built as a boutique. And it didn't prove out to be as profitable as enlarging the one inside, and so we came up with the idea of it being a liquor store, since I have a D-liquor license. And that worked out well enough that I decided to expand it. We went from about 800 square feet to 3,000 square feet. The second floor is a small, little, kind of cozy, back in the day, like a speakeasy. Yeah. It's called the Office of Area 51, like that.
Cute.
And it's where the bridal parties can go prior to the wedding, and they can get changed. There's makeup counters with lights and on countertops for the ladies. That'll be expanded in the future, but right now it is adequate. And it does have a bar, so in the middle of the party, if it gets too much, the bridegroom, whomever, can go downstairs and have their own bar set up and place to sit down. So it can be a living room set up with antique furniture. It can be stand-up, pass hors d'oeuvres, sit down, just for small groups of maybe up to 80.
Perfect. Yeah, that's great. So if you don't know, this is a wedding venue.
Right.
And this bar, first of all, right behind us, is so cool. Talk to me a little bit about just sort of the aesthetic of what's gone into this place. You've pulled antiques, local artists, local artwork. So much has gone into this space. I even noticed the floating bricks up there in the corner. It is so cool. You said like a speakeasy, even to get in. You come around the back side of the building. That's what it reminded me of.
For a wedding, they would park in the back. It is pretty cool for what it is as a speakeasy. And then you would go to whatever floor is applicable. You could have a wedding that took both floors. You could have just the second floor open, but it's never open to the public where you can walk in with a cut-off T-shirt or whatever. This is by invitation only, or by the party sending out invitations for their own behalf. It is expandable. It can go in either direction and increase the size of the space for different things. Much larger room to the south, addition to this room going north. So everything is expandable. I don't like new things. Most new things are cheap. And so all the chandeliers, I love Art Deco. I've had this bar for probably 20 years. The bar downstairs on 2, I've had longer than that.
This is a very unique venue for brides and grooms. Tell me, when a couple does book this as their wedding venue, maybe some of the services or some of what they get.
Well, there's different packages, as with anything. They can get married on the bayfront. They can be brought to the wedding as bridesmaids and groomsmen on 2 separate boats and get off. Then as the boats pull away, They would walk down and form the lines on either side. But they can get married here if it's inclement. They can get married there and come here. So the whole thing is about special events. It's not just about getting married. You could have an office party, a family reunion, a class reunion. If you had a well-behaved, big bridal party, you know, that kind, or the second floor, you know, that would be appropriate for something like that. And then you'd be able to go from here, either after the party or after the get-together, and walk over. We have a van that, you know, you can take the bridal party to the Secrets, and they can go in there and they can have a special area in Secrets, a couple places. The Fun Bar is an area that they could go without going through the crowd, and they'd be able to go up there and watch the bands on the beach, or they can go to either wing in the nightclub, you know. So here we have everything from a pastor that is the first on the list to photographer to, and we cook all the food here. We don't let any catering company come in.
Nice. I know the food is a big draw.
Yeah, well, it's a different menu. You know, this is totally different. It's not, I mean, if I don't like saying no, but jerk chicken is not going to be the specialty here. You know, it's going to be Chateaubriand. You know, it's going to be something really nice if they want to pay for something to that extent. And at a certain point, we're just not going to get along. I mean, because this is very expensive, and let it go, because you can for too small a sum and then forego a really big wedding. You know, if the profit comes down, then you've got to be more selective, and that's kind of what this is. We're trying to be a chameleon in everything so that you can find a place for your demographics of age. Over at Secrets, the same thing here. This is more for people that are doing, well, people will go out for special occasions, but they really won't go out on a normal basis. They'll go to weddings, they'll go to parties, they'll go to invited things, and that's what this is. You know, we have also bands, kind of in-house bands, great bands, and we can hire any bands that we use or more. And you can have it in the back of the corner over there, you can have it out on the porch, have it out on the beach as a small band. So everything from the beauty, I hope, of the room, it's the best I can do with my taste of Art Deco and throwing money at it, to the food, the drinks. Oh my God, they've come up with drinks. You know, and it shocked me.
Well, you got to come up with great drinks to match this fantastic bar.
Well, my guys, you know, I got to tell you, they're really talented, hard-working people, dedicated as heck.
Well, Leighton, thank you so much. I mean, this is such a unique, really cool, really interesting venue. So if you are tying the knot sometime soon, make sure you check out Area 51. But don't go anywhere just yet, because we do have more Coast Life headed your way.
Okay, if any of this looks familiar to you, we're going back to Steve Jobs introducing the first iPod.
Wow.
If it looks familiar, it's okay. It was this week in 2001.
That hurts.
That Steve Jobs announced the iPod. Do you remember the days when one song was like, I mean, it was like 99 cents. It was less than that before, and I was like, that is so expensive. And
right? Because we're like, I'm not paying for music, because we would listen to the radio. So you're like, music is free.
What is the earliest like listening to music set you had? Was it your MP3?
Probably for like me personally, I know that I had this little, it was a white floral boombox that I was obsessed with. I mean, we played it literally to death, but it was, yeah, like this little white boombox, and it had all these colorful little flowers on it, and like I've looked for it so hard on eBay. Like I've looked for it to have it back in my life. I loved it so much. Haven't found it yet. But I remember that like my family, and my dad is such a music lover, that like he has bought and re-bought and re-downloaded and like redone all of his forms of music.
I do remember it must have been middle school, this girl got a pink iPod and it could take, no, it was red. It was red, and she could take videos on it. And we were like, an iPod can take videos? And we were like, can I please use your iPod and take a funny video? And now I think back, it's like, I can't believe that was how it was.
Right?
That wasn't
like
that long
worst
ago.
Quality, yeah. And then like you still had to carry your camera on you, because that was the only way you were gonna take pictures. And so you still had multiple, it's all the mirror flash that's in every single photo, every selfie you ever took.
And it was dusty. Your mirror was always dusty.
Always dusty.
None of us Windexed in middle school.
No.
We live and we learn.
Yes. Yeah. We did have some cassette tapes. I remember listening to like our kinder music and stuff, like my very first music lesson. We had the cassette tapes that you would take home. And so like we did have those, but I was like peak CD burning, drawing Sharpie all over your CD that you wrote. I mean, like my sister and I had many summer mixes.
Oh yeah, the Kelly Clarkson, the Britney Spears, those were some good days. Well yeah.
Best summer ever.
Yeah, exactly.
2008.
Yes. I forgot always trying to come up. And then you were so careful because you could only do it once.
Yep.
Those were the rules. If you don't know what we're talking about, good for you. You're probably really young.
I feel it in my knees. Thank you.
Well, thanks for coming down memory lane with us. We had fun, and let us know too. We want to see if you still have your CD player, your boombox. We want to see it. We want to reminisce with you. But
and if you find that boombox, send me the link. That white one with colorful flowers all over it. They're really groovy.
I can see it in my brain. I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
Exactly. All right. Well, we're gonna go now. We have to send things over to Coast TV News at 5.